What's up, guys? It's me, James, back here at Creative Space, and I'm doing my second video comparing the Behringer X Touch 1 and the Presonus Faderport uh, 2, version 2. So just to let you guys see, this is my setup. So like I said, it's sitting on top of my piano, and also I'm using the artist mix with Pro Tools, but what's on screen right now is the Harrison mix bus, and that's why I bought the two controllers, because I believe I don't believe that the mix bus, I meant the artist mix, works with anything other than Pro Tools. I know it does have a HUI function, but I haven't gotten it to work. So for $150, $199, I purchased these two so that I can compare them and use them with Harrison. I prefer using Harrison as far as mixing, or even as far as doing my mastering. Just to check out my studio, I know you guys like gear. We like gear. I like gear. So this is my studio. Small, but that's my Neve 1073, which I love. I also have a Manley core, and I'm using the Apollo interface. So this is my setup. Uh, the piano is a Kawai VC2. I think that's the name of it. I haven't played it in a minute. And these are my drums. Okay, they're out of business, but they're called the Hearts Dynamics drums. So that's pretty much my setup, but going back to these two, I'm going to go over to the computer and answer some of the questions that you guys had. So give me a second. Again, this is all done with no editing, so bear with me while I pull up the questions. And I know one person wanted to know about the faders, in automation. So I found these two not to work well together, meaning you can connect them both in Harrison, but when you're controlling one, you're actually controlling the other. I haven't figured out how to make this one independent of this one. Some features you can, but others you cannot. So, but I'll demonstrate. So as far as automating the faders, I'm going to do this right quick and just let you know what I prefer. Now this is the Behringer's fader. To me, it's a lot quieter than the Presonus fader. The Presonus fader has a little jerk to it. So it's like jerk up, jerk up, jerk up. Where again, the Behringer is a lot smoother. There's no give, there's no play. So I kind of like that. So again, someone had asked me about that. And also, I'm going over to my page, which I appreciate you guys jumping on my page. Again, that was my first video. This is my second one, so it was nice to see that I got a couple comments. Right now, I'm leaning towards the X Touch 1. And there's a lot of different features on it. Let me go through some of the stuff that I dealt with, just hooking these up. And I haven't had a whole lot of time because I do other stuff. I'm also a photographer, so I'm pretty busy during the week. So if you want a lot of functionality, there's some great guys online. I would prefer, or maybe I'll even put a link on that does a lot of the function stuff, okay? Out of the box, the Behringer X Touch 1, plug and play. I plugged it in, bam, it worked. The Presonus, it probably would have worked, but there's something, they have it set up for Studio One. So out of the box, it did not work. You had to read the manual to figure out that there's modes on both of these. This was in the Studio One mode, so it did not work with Harrison. It took me a little bit to figure that out. Once I got it in the mode, it works seamlessly. But again, the X1 It worked right out of the box because I guess they already had it in a Huey or the Mackie control mode. So that was one thing that I was ready to send this sucker back because I was like, man, it ain't working like I wanted to. And I'm not a reader. I'm not a manual guy. I've been doing this a long time. I think, well, I just want to plug and play. So if you're a manual guy, you would have figured that out. So I didn't. Another thing, let's see, I'm going to go down this list again. As far as Slam Crank, if I get some of your names wrong, Slam Crank, the template that has CC on it is not Adobe Creative Cloud. All it means is standard MIDI. So it's a standard MIDI template. So again, reading the manual kind of gave me that information. And someone asked me about selling one of them. I'm sorry, I am really leaning towards the Touch One. So some other things that's on here. The Presonus has on and off switch. So you connect it on and off. The Behringer does not have on and off. So that might be something that's important to you. It's not for me because I have it plugged into my master system. So everything shuts down at once. But initially it was because I like that on and off switch. And that's also a way of changing the modes on the different units. You can just go on and off to change the modes on the Faderport, but to change the modes on the Touch One, you have to unplug it and plug it back up. I didn't really like that. So I think I've answered most of the questions. Again, I think I'm leaning towards the Touch One and a couple other reasons, and I'll show you in a second. So I'm gonna close this out, and let's see, cheaper. For those who haven't done research on it, the Presonus sells for $199, and the Behringer sells for $149 actually, $149, $199. So $50 difference in them. Some of the features that I like about the Behringer. Check this out. I'm gonna turn the lights down a little bit. Give me a second. I know that sometimes your studio is all about the lights, so I like the fact that it has the all the metering. It actually has let me get it right, the scribble script right here. That's pretty cool because you can see what channel you're on, and it actually has the actual text, the actual channel name in it. Again, the Faderport does not have that feature. I'm gonna play a song, but you're not gonna hear it because of, well, why am I going to the computer? See, automatically go to the computer when I have a button right here. But what I like about this is the actual, I don't know if you can see that, but I love metering. It has the metering on it. Faderport does not have the metering. Again, it has, where you are, the locator, bars, beats, subdivisions, ticks, all that stuff is right there at a glance. Some cool things, all these function buttons. Click one, you program this. You go into Harrison and actually program the F1, F2, all the way up to F6, and there's so many different functionalities there that you can set this thing up amazingly the way you want it set up. And I kind of like this feature. I'm from old school. I kind of like where it stop, play, record, instead of some of this fancy stuff. It's cool looking. Like I said, I love the all the lights and stuff on the Faderport. I like the size. It's a little smaller. But again, with my setup, both of them fit here. I think this actually fits a little better. But on my setup, I think I'm going to make the X Touch One work. A feature that I do not like, I won't go through it. Again, there's a guy online, he goes through this, but I'll explain it to you. When you change channels with the Faderport, you can actually see the channels changing on the DAW. So you can actually see it being located. On the X1, you don't actually see it. It's a two-step process. You have to actually click channel and then hit select and you'll see it. And then if you go to channel 2, you have to click channel again and select to move it around to see it going. So again, it's a two-step process. On the fader port, you see it actually moves with the, as you say, next channel, next channel, next channel. Not a game breaker for me because I also know someone wrote on the forum that Behringer knows of this problem, and there's an update coming out in the next couple of weeks, so that'll rectify that situation. So again, I'm not gonna get all fancy with this. I love, again, the locator. I love the meter. I love the big scrub knob. Also, the fader is very, very smooth in automation. Let me go back. In automation is very smooth. And the functionality, the program functionality, is excellent for what I'm doing. Again, aesthetically, I love this. It's a nice little setup. I love the lights and everything, but you know, hey, I'll save $50. I could spend that on some software. So I'm gonna send this back to the store I got it from, and I will keep the X1. So again, I hope that answers a lot of your questions, or some of your questions. Again, functionality, there's some great guys online. I haven't had time to like dig into it a lot, but I wanted to get back and do part 2. I wanted to show you guys it hooked up. You see all the nice lights drop. It really has some nice features on it. A lot more lights light up as you do different things, from mute to select to solo, so you get a lot of more lights. These lights on this one, they stay lit. So a lot of times they're lit up and you're not using that button. It could be confusing, but again, they stay lit, looks nice. No issue with it. It worked great with Harrison. It's actually set up to work with Harrison. Harrison actually had a relationship with Presonus in the beginning with the version 1. So again, I knew this would work. But congratulations to Behringer X-Touch 1. I haven't had a problem with it. It functions well. Looking forward to the new software. And hey guys, subscribe. I will be doing some stuff. Like I said, I'm a musician, I'm a keyboard player. So I'm gonna be doing some stuff with other gear that I have, and also come in. So I'm gonna cut it short. My buddy's coming in. Peace out.